The Los Angeles Rams in the 2018-19 season were a pretty good team. In fact, a really good team, as they were the 2 seed in the NFC. They had the Defensive Player of the Year in Aaron Donald. They had a solid quarterback in Jared Goff. They had a great young coach in Sean McVay. They had a superstar running back in Todd Gurley, a good wide receiving core, a good tight end, so a good defense, and really just a well-balanced team in general. And many people thought that the Rams would be a really good team for a long time, I guess. However, the Rams had a disappointing 2019-20 season, and while they weren't a bad team, they were just an average 9-7, and they just missed out in the playoffs. As the previous year, they would make it to the Super Bowl, which they eventually lost. And in the 2020 offseason, they had to cut Todd Gurley since no one wanted his massive contract, especially after his down year. They lost Nicole Roby-Coleman, Dante Fowler Jr., and Corey Littleton, plus more pieces due to the lack of cap space. Not only that, but they had a terrible rebrand. But in all seriousness, let's talk about the Rams. As we all know, the Rams coming into the year did not really have huge expectations, especially considering the fact that they did not make any major additions to their roster. However, they've started out 2-0 and they've been looking pretty good. And today I want to answer the question if the Rams can have a bounce back year. And that's what I'm going to address in this video, obviously. But make sure to like the video if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers. And also make sure you comment down below your video ideas and share this channel with any NFL and NBA fans you guys know. Now let's get started. Now, the big problem with the Rams last year was their offensive line, plus Todd Gurley was not 100%. The bad offensive line did not allow the team's offense to really just be as good. Plus, Todd Gurley was also dealing with some arthritis, so because of that, his knee was not that good, and he was not 100%. And the teams being able to figure out how to stop Todd Gurley was really just not going to help either. And after this disappointing year, many people did not have huge expectations for the Rams, as personally, I thought they would be 6-10 or 7-9 at worst, and they could maybe be 9-7 at best. But anyways, with all that being said, the 2020 offseason, as we all know, was just not great for the Rams. Well, maybe not great. How do I put it? They didn't really make any major moves besides cutting Todd Gurley, because when they did try to trade him, well, no one wanted his big contract, especially after the down year he had. Plus, they lost guys like Corey Littleton and other guys on the defensive side of the ball and on their team in general because of the lack of cap space they had. Plus, the Rams don't have many draft picks, and their next first-round pick they don't have one until 2022, which really isn't great. And they really did the best they could in the draft. However, they did not really, pick up any major offensive linemen that had people thinking that they could really improve. However, the team has been playing really well so far in these 2 games. And now you might be thinking it is just 2 games, which yeah, it is just 2 games. However, the Rams have been playing pretty good, and if they can keep this up, I think they can be a pretty good team. Over this 2-game stretch, they beat the Eagles and the Cowboys, who are both respectable teams. The offense was playing well, and the defense is playing well, and Sean McVay continues to be, one of the best coaches in the league. Jared Goff has been a really solid quarterback. He's put up numbers of 542 yards, 3 passing touchdowns on a 69% completion percentage, and he's been just good scrambling out of the pocket, making good throws, and just being a good quarterback in general. I think Jared Goff is a pretty good quarterback, even though he's not really elite. But now they did lose Todd Gurley, which definitely does hurt their roster. However, Malcolm Brown, Darrell Henderson, and Cam Akers are all 3 pretty solid running backs, and they have a lot of backfield depth. Even when Todd Gurley was on the team, the running backs stepped up when the team really just needed them to step up. Malcolm Brown in this 2-game stretch has been pretty good, as he's rushed for 126 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he's done this averaging 4 yards a carry. The Rams have also have a really good receiving core that's pretty underrated to me personally, as they have Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, who can both be 1,000-yard receivers. Plus, Josh Reynolds is also a really good wide receiver that I think is going to be a good number 3 receiver. Tyler Higbee is also a really underrated tight end, as he's great at receiving the ball and just a solid tight end. Woods has put up numbers of 8 receptions, 119 yards, averaging 15 yards an attempt, with a catch percentage of 61.5. As for Cooper Kupp, he's put up 9 receptions for 121 yards, averaging 13 yards a catch, with a catch percentage of 82%, while Tyler Higbee has had 8 receptions for 94 yards, averaging 12 yards a catch, with 3 receiving touchdowns and a catch percentage of 89%. 100%. And the defense has also been performing well, as in the Cowboys game, they were able to limit them as much as they could. And in the Eagles game, when the Eagles were starting to come back, well, the defense kind of just stepped up. But anyways, Aaron Donald has been pretty good, and he continues to really just be one of the best defensive players in the league, as he's just great at pressuring the quarterback and can still be very deadly even when you double team him. Jalen Ramsey's still a really good cornerback who's good at locking up another team's opposing receiver. John Johnson's a really solid receiver safety. Troy Hill's also pretty good cornerback. And the defense, even though they lost some guys, it's still a really good defense overall. Plus, Sean McVay is also a very good coach, and I feel like many people have forgotten just how good of a coach Sean McVay is, simply because of the Rams' disappointing last year. And with all of that being laid out, I guess, can the Rams have a bounce back year? Personally, I would say so. Now, you might be thinking, well, how come I think the Rams would have a bounce back year, or can have a bounce back year? Well, the thing is, with the way they've been playing, I think they can. Because if the offensive line, to me, if they can perform well, then I think the Rams have a very good team that is pretty scary. And if you ask me, they can be a solid 10-6 this year if everything goes right. And who knows, they can maybe be better. Now, the chances of them going 12-4 or 13-3 and being that same team we saw in the 2018-19 season, honestly, I doubt that, especially considering the fact that they play in probably the toughest division in football, as they have arguably two Super Bowl contenders, Arizona, who's looked very good so far too, and really, they just play in a very tough division. However, I still think they can be a pretty good team, and maybe even a playoff team. They have a solid QB, two 1,000-yard receivers, a great receiving tight end, plus some really good wide receivers, and a good defense, and just a well-balanced team overall. Plus, add that on with the fact that Sean McVay is a very good coach, and then you got a pretty good team right there. And they will have to deal with some tough teams this year, but if you ask me, don't count out the Los Angeles Rams this year. They could be a very good team, and that's kind of it. Thank you guys for watching. It means a lot to me. Make sure you like the video if you guys did enjoy. And you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, and you're a fan of the NFL or NBA, or you just like the videos on this channel. Make sure you comment down below your video ideas, as it really helps me out, providing you guys with what you guys want to see. And I don't have an unlimited stash of ideas, so you guys could help me out there. And share this channel with any NFL and NBA fans that you guys know. And with all that being said, I'm out.